Okay, so in this part we are going to discuss the XSS, which is the cross-site scripting. Before we proceed to the practical examples, first we have to define what cross-site scripting is or what cross-site scripting vulnerabilities are. Generally, cross-site scripting are vulnerabilities which are found within the web application in which there is no input validation or poor input filtering, in which you can type in a malicious JavaScript and gain access or harm the website application. And it allows an attacker to inject JavaScript code into the page, yes, of course. And the code is executed when the page loads. And the code is executed on the client machine, not the server. So what we are saying is JavaScript doesn't get executed on the web server. It is executed on the client machine, which is you, in which is the web browsers. And there are three main types of the cross-site scripting. These are the persistent or stored, the reflected SSS, or the DOM-based SSS. The persistent or stored is when the JavaScript is stored in the web server, not on the client. And this can be very dangerous because whenever any user comes to the web page, the code will be executed. And the reflected SSS is when there is a JavaScript in a particular URL or link, and this can also be dangerous, but not as much as dangerous of the persistent, but this can be dangerous for the client side. And the third one, which is the DOM-based, this is the most dangerous one from all these three, because this type of cross-site scripting or JavaScript scripting can be executed on the client side without any communication with the web server. So this can be very dangerous because whenever any code is inserted, the code is filtered in the web server. So if there is no any communications between the client side and the web server, and a malicious JavaScript is inputted, and this will be the DOM-based cross-site scripting. And this can be very dangerous because there is no filtering in the web server. And this is basically injected or scripted on the client side. So without further ado, let's get to the first part of the JavaScript, which is the reflected. And we're gonna check this out and how we can use the JavaScript scripting. So before you start, open up your Kali Linux and your Metasploitable mission. As you can see, this is my Metasploitable mission, and I have my IP address right here, and this is my Kali Linux mission. Okay, so let me type in my password. Okay, type in your Metasploit IP address and go on to the DBWA security. Choose the security part to low, and let's go on to the first part of the JavaScript and let's see the practical example of this. What we can do is basically what this web page does is it will ask for your name. So let me type in my name. If I type in my name, it will say hello EL. So what if we can insert a JavaScript? So to start the JavaScript, you always have to start by script, which is this one. Type script, which is the opening, then alert, then the script that you want to be displayed on the web page, which is, for example, I will choose Ella and put it in double quotes, and then the closing script, which is this one. So I'm gonna type in submit. As you can see here, we have a web page that says Ella, and we have successfully did a JavaScript, which is the reflected one. Okay, let us see the source code of this web page, and let me try to enlarge it. And as you can see here, it says if I raise this name, okay, get name. As you can see here, there is no any filtering because I set it to low. And let's change it to the security to medium, and change this to medium and submit it. And let's go to reflected, and let's try to see the source code of the medium security of this one. And as you can see here, these are the same one of the previous one, which is the low security. And as you can see, it says echo and echo hello string replacement, and it only replaces a small letter script and also blank spaces. So what this does is this web page only filters out scripts which are in lowercase letters. So what if we can inject a JavaScript and make the capital letter? Let us try with the small letter. Let's choose this one. As you can see here, This is all in lowercase letters, and if I try to submit it, it didn't. The JavaScript was not successful because it has some part of input validation for lowercase letters of JavaScript. So what else can we do to successfully insert the JavaScript? What we can do is we can insert it with capital letters. So let us try it, and script, and then alert, and type in Ella, and let's try to close it. Okay, let's submit it. Okay, it was successful. As you can see here, we have our JavaScript, which is the reflected one. This can be okay. In this part, we are going to discuss the next part of the cross-site scripting, which is the stored one. And before we start anything, let's first go to our metasploitable and go to the DVWA and change the security to low and submit it. And go on to the stored one. We are going to inject a JavaScript scripting which is going to be stored. So as you can see here, the name is test and the message, this is a test comment. So everything that we write in here will be displayed in this web page. First, let us test this one, test, and of course let us try to write a JavaScript. Okay, alert. Okay, this is one. It's going to be this. Let me change this one to arrow, and script so this is going to be the JavaScript. So let us try to enter it and click sign into guestbook. As you can see here, we have successfully inject our JavaScript code in here, and whenever we try to load on this web page, the JavaScript will be loaded. So first let us go to another web page, and if I go back to the stored one, and as you can see, the JavaScript will be displayed. So this is the main difference between the reflected one and the stored one. The reflected one, it is very crafted in the URL or links, but in the stored one it is completely different because the JavaScript is completely stored in the web server and it will forever stay there. And of course, let's try another one. So first let us try to write the code here. As you can see here, it will not let me type in because there is definitely a maximum number of characters that can be used, but we can change that if you go to inspect, go into body. As you can see here, it says maximum length 10, but if we change here to 100, we can definitely enter the JavaScript we want. So let us continue it. Alert 101, and script, of course, let us close it. Okay, voila. As you can see here, we have successfully again exploited the website because it will let us type in the number of characters that we want. So if we see the source code of this web page, which is the easy one, let us try to enlarge it so we can see it better. As you can see here, this is the sanitized message input. As you can see here, it doesn't filter out any input. It only strip messages, MySQL will escape string messages, and sanitize the name import, which is MySQL space string characters. So there are no any filters here, as we can see right now. but if we change the security to low and go back to the XSS stored. By the way, whenever you try to re-enter the web page, it will display the JavaScript code. So in order to clear this, go on to the home one and go on to the setup and just reset database. Okay, the database has been restored. So if you go back to the XSS storage, the JavaScript will not be displayed here. And let us change to the security to medium. Okay, the security is to medium. So let us go to the stored. Let us try to inject the code, the JavaScript code. So script alert. Okay, let us try to sign in. Okay, let me try to zoom in. As you can see here in the message, there is a / which for the script that we want in here. So there is definitely an input validation here. No, then let us not look. We can check the code in here, but it's better to see it from the web page itself. So if we try to enlarge it, let me try to enlarge it. Okay, so the sanitize message inputs right here, there are definitely a message inputs here which sanitizes for the inputs, and the sanitize name input here, it only validates for the script part in here. So what we can do is we can change the capital letters, whether it's going to be small letter or capital letter, and we can change this to capital letters. So don't just change the whole letters to capital letters or uppercase letters. You can change only few of the words, script, alert, and then whatever you want to display here. Let us call it, this is XSS, and capital A, C, script, color, this is okay. So as we have seen in the low security, there was no any input validation, but when we change it to the medium, the security was changed because it won't allow to insert the script of the JavaScript code. But what we can do is we can change the whole word to capital letters or uppercase letters. So let us try to inject this one. Sorry, let me change this one to single quotes and type in sign in guestbook. Okay, right, it didn't let me change it, so let me try to write it again. Maybe let's change it to all uppercase letters, script, alert, on, and script, sign in guestbook. Okay, we didn't also change it. Okay, so what if you can write it here? So it wouldn't let me insert the JavaScript code. So let us try to see the source code here. As we can see here, the sanitized message input, which is this one here. Let me open it. Okay, here we go. So the thing is, in the sanitized message import, there is not a volunteer here because it's sanitized for env input, which is going to trim for the strip tags, for the MySQL rescript strings, or the HTML special characters. But in the name input, it all needs string replacement for the script, but we can change the small letters to uppercase letters and we can run for the script. But we do have one problem that we're going to encounter because it wouldn't let me enter more than 10 characters as we have seen before. We can change that. So okay, it will let me inject code here because in the message there is not vulnerability there, but in the name there is definitely there. So what we can do is let's change the maximum length to 100 and let's try to inject our code. What we have to do is we have to make the small letter case or change it to uppercase letters. So let us change this one and of course change to T. Okay, and for the test, let's call it test. And if I sign guessbook here, okay, voila, it's done. As you can see here, our script was executed because we have exploited definitely a vulnerability within this web page. Okay, great. We have seen the cross-site scripting, which is one of the most necessary vulnerabilities found within the web applications. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.